Hey, all right, brethren. All right, you brethren here early. Good. Nazarene, Dave, Elijah, thank you, brethren, joining me. Good to see you, brethren, man. I hope I say something or read something. Really bless your soul. I think I got something today. Really think I got something good. Well, I think every day, but Creator is amazing, man. He knows we need food to keep going. He knows that we need something that's got to give us hope from day to day. Time for the video. All right. Thank you, brother, for joining me. I want to give thanks to the Heavenly Father, Earthly Mother, for this opportunity to be about the Creator's will. Give me a hard time, Dave. I had to do something at the last minute. I expect something. Oh, that's the critical hour right there. The last few minutes of the video. Either I'll turn it on, and then the screen, the computer, it'll shut down on me. It's always something, man. I expect anything. When you're talking about sharing this word right here, I'm not surprised at anything right now. But okay. Oh, I went on live. Yeah, I purposely, yeah. So anyway, I just want to give thanks to the Creator because of this opportunity to try to minister and say something. I know that His word, it has like an effect on us. It's just something about it. It's just something about it, and you can't really explain why it is able to do the effect that it. To me, it's a mini miracle that would cause us to gravitate to this thing. I mean, there's a separation going on. I think that many brethren have always wondered, how is the Creator, how is He going to separate people? I mean, and now we see, because, the Bible, which is all we had at the time, it talked about the separation of the wheat and the tares. So you can't fool the Creator, man, And right now, we are in a test for our lives. And the test is life, man. The test for us is life. Will we be able to keep a witness all our life? It's like the Creator, there's something in the Bible where Peter, there's an account where between him and Jesus Christ, where he says, Jesus Christ asked him, do you love me? And Peter, he asked him that 3 times, and it said the 3rd time he was hurt. And as it turns out, that account is really talking about you, brethren, in a sense, the Creator and you, and He's going to find out, because what I'm going to read today, it's like He's saying from time to time, man, we need encouragement. We need to kind of we need to be able to dream, man, about what we're doing, where we're going, how do we get there, because not everybody know. I'm telling you the truth, man, and you, brethren, you know it in your soul. We in a situation where it's like we see through a glass darkly, like it says in the Bible right now. But then, what is it? For we see through a glass darkly, but then face to face, and we shall be known as we know, or For now we see through a glass darkly, but then face to face, King James Version. So 1 Corinthians 13, for now, I mean, a lot of the Bible, it tells us, I mean, you can see how the Creator, he don't let the corruption of it stop him from giving you a message. So that when you come to his revealed word, then you go back and remember some of the things you read. That's the way it worked for me. That's the way it works for me. I mean, so far as my learning, let me see. I might not make sure I even have that on the screen. Okay. I can't. I got to enlarge my screen here. Let's enlarge this thing. All right. Yeah, good. It is on there. All right. Good enough. All right. So there are a lot of things in the Bible, in spite of the corruption of it, that the Creator, is true. So for now, that is our reality. We see through a glass darkly, but then face to face. Now I know in part, but then I know in part, but then shall I know, even as I am known. And that's our situation right there. We've been through a lot of testing, man. You know, reality, go this way, that way, spirituality, religion, churches, 1,000 voices saying go this way, go that way. And really, it's really like the scripture says also, you know, the kingdom is within you. Kingdom is within you. There are some people, it's like they're self-sufficient, man. You know, you meet them in life. You know, they got a good foundation. They're comfortable with themselves. They got their own constitution, their character. They got their mind made up. You know, you see them walking down the street, you know, full of confidence and assurance. And but it's a lot of brethren in the world looking here, looking there, you know, looking for the truth. And really, it's within you. It's within you, man. It's it's like whatever is truth to you is going to ring true with you. And the Creator, he knew all the time. It seems like, oh, you know what? I should scroll the screen. So I don't do the angels anymore because on the weekends, I don't do the videos. And so what I can do is scroll the angels so that, you know, maybe you keep Sabbath a different day than Friday, Saturday. And, you know, you can acknowledge the angels according to when you keep Sabbath. And it's not really, the only really important thing is just to try to give thanks, you know, to remember. See, I believe the Creator is trying to show us we trying to go to the highest heaven, man. You know that? I was in the Bible study yesterday, and that guy said, you brethren, we in a battle. We in a battle. We got spirits that are coming against you to put your light out, get you to drop faith, not get you to endure. And another brother was telling me, hey, man, you know, I think it was Brother Cosman, that we're the forerunners. See, the real manifestation we don't know when the full on strong manifestation of the kingdom is going to be. We basically are the forerunners. We lay in the foundation. Ever since we got word, we got the OAHSPE Bible. Basically, that's what you brethren are chosen. We're chosen to be at this time in this reality to build. Basically, what I think is to build a foundation. That means we got to be strong brethren, man. We got to be able to receive this word. We got to help each other, man. It's just, you know, we got to help each other. That's the whole plan, the Creator. I hope we can get that city going. I hope we can get it started, man. Meaning, you know, we can have dialogue about buying property, how to begin building, you know, how to, you know, I don't know, maybe it's not the Creator's will right now. I know that we're going to be a city. I know that the kingdom is going to be on earth. I know that right now, that at some point people are going to see the kingdom. They're going to see fakeness. And I understand that we're the beginning of that. We're basically getting it started. So it's pretty tough because we are scattered. I mean, I look at other channels, brethren, sharing the light, sharing the OAHSPE. They don't hardly have any views. I mean, they're like real, you know what I mean? I mean, real small viewership and hardly, I mean, very, very, very few people listening, especially this word right here, So that's why we need understanding, we need knowledge, we need wisdom to know what's going on. How come this good word is spreading like wildfire? And the Creator, He tell us, He's given us this word so that we can make it. We can endure to it. We could not want to desire the earth and the things of the earth. Like it says in Revelation 18, it talks about the deities, which, it keeps the world bound up. We in a situation where we realize that the world, they learned too late what it's all about. They learned too late, man. And this bittersweet thing, I was at the Bible study, the brother, he said, hey, man, basically the odds are stacked against us. And the Ashars, they do the equivalent of in protecting us and helping us to do battle with the contrary spirits, with the contrary vibration that we're up against. I think that spiritually, what he was saying, that if we could see our situation, we probably would faint. You mean I got to go up against all them? You got to be kidding me, man. That looks to me like 1,000,000 to 1. How am I going to deal with that? And I think that's why the Creator, the flesh, and to keep us from seeing those things. Now, you may say that sounds kooky, but I think that can be proven. The brother was talking about an account where in the OAHSPE, where a bunch of spirits came against his brother, and the Ashar, he was fighting off 1,000 of them that was attacking this brother, and that Ashar had to fight him off. And I can't recall the account or where it's at, but I believe it. I think that our reality. So my channel, I just love. I just try to. I share the the ups and the downs, the high and the lows of my life, and then what the Creator did with me. That might not seem sexy to you, but that's the best I can do to try to help somebody else identify with what goes on while we in this situation, because we are in a situation. And I don't recommend this channel. I don't recommend my channel, man, to, I don't recommend it to a lot of people, because I think that I come across like it might make you feel like, you can't do the things that I do, or almost every day, you're doing stuff like this, or I'm not trying to make myself sound like anything, but any brother who has a little bit of dedication, you could be to other people who are not as dedicated. It could cause them to think about themselves in the way they should be thinking about themselves. Like, I can't make it. I can't do what he do because, look at all that he's done. That's why I was sharing that verse the other day where it said that the Creator, hey, you may have a brother, he does a whole lot of works, man. And then you got another brother, a weak brother, and he doesn't have nearly that many. And the Creator may choose him over the brother that's really, doing a lot, it's a lot of works. And with the Creator, he says, nah, man, that ain't so. See, he truly looks at the inside of a brother. That makes me fear in a good way. Like, all that you do, it don't mean the hill of beans, man, if it lacks sincerity and truth, because you're only fooling yourself. That's the first lesson to learn, man. You can't fool the creator, you know. And he's going to, in the study, we were learning that you get situated according to who you are. You know, if you like to raise hell on earth, you're going to be raising it in heaven. If you like to try to bless a brother, serve a brother, you know, you have the ability to believe in the creator. You go about trying to discern and examine yourself, and you try to bear good fruit, then you're going to go to those people. It's simple as that, man. And we believe it. So it separates you from the world right there. That's what we up against. And that's why, I mean, you know, I do what I do because I can't help myself. I got to do this. You know, I've got to read. I've got to talk to other brethren. I've got to be in that atmosphere or I can't make it, man. You know, if I could just be around this word, because it, you know, I perceive that you brethren are the same way. You know, I think it's out of sight. We got something to help us to make it, man. You know, that's the bottom line right there. We got something to help us to make it. And I don't treat it lightly. I don't, you know, I mean, you know, there's a lot in the world, you know. I never thought I would leave the world. Never thought I would leave it, man. You know, I knew in the back of my mind when I realized that I was looking for the creator. At that time, I was looking for God, you know. And I knew that it was going to require separation from the world. That's what one of the first things I realized, even when I was a Christian. When I was a Christian, I knew that I was going to be called to think things, believe things differently than what the world look at. And it was going to be painful, man. You know, I knew it was going to be painful. And even for that reason, I wouldn't let myself, I mean, you know, I had, you know, you know, like I wouldn't, I frown on letting myself be in a relationship. You know, it got to that point with me where I figured, you know, I had to make a good assessment and see if I wanted to go down that path, you know, like have a family. And I concluded that I can't do that. I can't really deal with that because I knew I wouldn't let myself get, you know, a couple of times I was, you know, I was convinced to, I don't know how to say it, to get married. I was open to that suggestion to go ahead and get married, but as it started to get serious, I just said to myself, man, I cannot, because I can't give myself to nobody. And I know it in my heart. And it would be a disaster to join myself to somebody. And I know in my heart, man, you know, I can't give myself to you 100% because I got something in me that I'm looking for. I haven't found it yet. Until I find it, then I got to find it first before I talk about making a commitment like that. And I never found it. Creator wouldn't let me go down that path. And it wasn't until later on, man. And I didn't start hitting my stride till I was like in the middle 40s. And by that time, I was home free so far as like have a relationship and the desire for it. You know, I had no desire. I made no effort. I stopped partying around in my late 20s. And this creator, he had put something in me where I just couldn't eat, couldn't sleep unless I kept looking, trying to get the answer. Why do I feel this way? How come I have to be isolated from everybody? You know, like when you go to college, they spend a lot of time isolated because they studying, you know, in the room, they studying late at night, they study, you know, they got that drive. But for me, I had like curiosity, like I can't put, you know, I heard some girl say, you have a God-sized hole in your spirit and only he can fill it. No human being can fill it. And that's one thing I really appreciate about sisters, man. They got a way of saying things, you know, their ability, even in OAHSPE says that. I mean, he made a woman to be a miracle, man, a damn miracle. In the sense, their ability is. What did the OAHSPE say? It said their conversation ability. You know how they can use words? Their wit. They have great wit. They have a insight, natural insight, man, And that girl said, you have a God-sized hole in your heart and only Heavenly Father can fill it. Only Heavenly Father can fill it. Nobody can fill it for you, Kurt. I was Curtis back then. And it's true. You won't be happy if speaking for myself, maybe for you too. It's got to be filled, man. It's got to be filled. And there come a time you stop looking at church and wow, the Creator, he's something else, man. He's something else. So, all right, that's it for this scroll right here. Let me make sure I'm looking at the screen so I can see that okay. Now, I have a room on Facebook. I have a room where I love, man. I just love to try to. I just like to share. Oh, I gotta log in. I gotta share. I like to share what's good. I have a firm belief, man, that this word is soul food like you ain't never had before. If you can receive it, there's a food ministry where I target orphans, older people, handicapped. I can be contacted. Here's the room where I just try to give it a chance for brethren to share the OAHSPE. That's the target. I know that the blessing for the reading of the word is the real blessing, man. I mean, I can't describe it. For me, it saved my life because I can't deal with vanity, I'm just going to scroll it as I'm talking. I think my sister gave me a metaphysical word too, so I can go ahead and share that when I get to it. She gave me a metaphysical word. So just to give you a good idea of what goes on in the room, in order to try to entice somebody to want to come in, have fellowship with us, and to redeem the time that way. Something that I posted. Again, Jehovah said, when man has fulfilled his time in the lower heaven, where we are right now, he says, I prepare him by ample teachers for a higher resurrection. As brides and bridegrooms, my host adorn them. The Ashars, the lords, the angels, the gods, they adorn us. They prepare us. And I am come in a sea of fire. First man was wedded to the earth by me. First man was wedded to the earth by me. Solemnized. I think that means consecrated. Let's see what that word means real quick. Solemnize means perform, celebrate, ceremonialize, formalize, officiate. So ceremony, I guess a good word. Celebrate, perform, formalize, officiate at. To duly perform a ceremony like marriage. Okay, so solemnize. My first man was wedded to the earth by me. He was performed. Let me use a Yaikwab word. He was made ready. How about that? First man was wedded to the earth by me. He was made ready. And without man's knowledge, Then to the lower heaven he was wed, laboring with spirits and mortals. Okay. My brother put up some videos here. Hey, bro, that was a good video right there. The truth being revealed. I like that. That was pretty good right there. Where the um, the brother was basically showing you how the Bible's really being exposed. The Bible's being exposed pretty good, man, and it ain't no shock to me that this is how the Creator, this is how He operates. He give you a time. He tests you. You don't know everything. You have very little understanding of things. And the only thing that keeps you going is your desire. Hey, Yogi, I didn't see you, brother. Peace, love, and light to you. Good to see you, brother. Oh, he beat me. He did beat me to it. He beat me to it, man. I knew. Oh, I lost connection. Okay, I think my computer might start acting up. I hope not. He so what was I saying? That video was pretty. It was pretty tight, man. You know, it was pretty tight. The brother was showing there's a change going on. There is a change. The Creator, He's doing things. That video has showed the cracks in the Bible, the story of the narrative of Jesus Christ. And I remember reading something in the Nag Hammadi where Jesus Christ said, that wasn't me on the cross. He said he was sitting back laughing at him in the Nag Hammadi. And it said the same thing in that video. He said that I was sitting back laughing at him. Now, you know, the Nag Hammadi is saying that Jesus Christ said that he was sitting back laughing at those who were persecuting him. And then the video said that was Judas Iscariot. You know, it talked about Barnabas who came against Paul, exposing Paul. It talked about the Vatican and the secrecy, how they got a vault full of thousands and thousands of books, and they won't turn them over. They won't let the public see them. What do you got to hide, man? You know, it can only be the truth, because that's the only thing that it scares people. Any kingdom of man, the worst enemy of the kingdom of man is the truth. That's the one enemy that is the worst enemy to the kingdom of man. So here's a metaphysical word that my sister is that she gave me. Metaphysical word. Metaphysical means other than physical, and I believe it's something that the Creator is anointed from the Creator. He used a man to gave him the understanding, and it helped you to see the invisible, what is invisible. He uses words, even in the corrupted Bible, to help you see things that are spiritual so that you can examine yourself. I'm telling you, man, oh, man, when you're talking about the Creator, man, I mean, you know, I hope you brethren don't play with this word, man. You know, I think a lot of brethren, I see a danger. You fall in love with the knowledge of it, and then you use it to pound over other people over the head. Because, you know, you got a hammer. Now you got a hammer. I remember when I was with the Hebrew Israelites, and they used knowledge like a hammer. Once they get it, man, the first thing that man turns around and does is he jackhammers his brother. Now, I think that, you know, their brethren, they get a hold of it. They sincere. They don't want to. They don't engage in vanity. You know what I mean? But it's like the natural spirit. And man, once he gets an advantage, man, you're finished. That's what government is. These are people, and I don't want to be a reporter of evils like the OAHSPE, talks about the tetracts. I don't know how you can get rid of them tetracts, to be honest. You probably know what the tetracts are, right? The evil vibration, Belial, Anash, what is it? Ra, I think, is one of them. These are the names of the definitions of the evil vibrations, like joy and doing wickedly, and wicked devices. There's like 7 of them. Satan is to be a leader of these things. These are vibrations that is called the global inheritance of man. And man, I'm telling you, we all got them. We all got them. But we got a government. These are people that are anointed. They rise up. And then, the leader of Israel. I'm sure you brethren heard about him. He's going to come over here to speak. He's going to come over here to speak. This is a man that's responsible for mass killing of women and children. Now, you brethren, you probably don't follow geopolitical events like I follow them. I do it because it helps me to see the Creator. I need to see the Creator every single day, man. Every single day. I just got to see him some type of way, man, to know. I need to confirm you every day. And one of the way I do it is I look at people. I look at them. I size up their character, and then I compare them with the OAHSPE so that I can learn a lesson. Like he says, this is going to happen, or this is the way the unclean spirit is, or this is the way the righteous spirit is. I look to see it manifested so I can learn, so I can keep on the road. You take your eye off of the light, pretty soon you're going to be in the only other place you can be. That's back in the world. To me, that's the seriousness of it. Now, here's the word Javan in the Bible. Now, historically, it's the son of Japheth, one of the 3 sons of Noah. Now, the world, they look at the flood, the 3 sons of Japheth. They look at it. Now, maybe I shouldn't get into this because I'm not really. They don't look at it the way the 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, the way the OAHSPE does. I'll just leave it at that because I might mess up trying to explain it, which I think is interesting. In the OAHSPE, they're referred to Shem, Ham, and Japheth. They represent divisions of the earth. Here, the Bible says, well, these were sons, and the 3 sons were the beginning of the lineage of the earth populated by the 3 sons of Noah. But the OAHSPE, it looks at it geopolitically, like divisions of the earth. Shem, Ham, and Japheth are divisions of the earth. Correct me if I'm wrong. If I'm saying something wrong, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's what it does. So historically, he says that it was the son of Japheth, or he was one of Noah's 3 sons. His name means the east, the dove, warmth, fertility, effervescence, productiveness, clay lace, clay, soil, mud, mire, deception. Okay, the metaphysical meaning of Javan is a name that the Hebrews of old gave to Greece. The original inhabitants of Greece are supposed to have been descendants of Javan, the son of Japheth. Javan therefore refers to the human or personal intellect in man, and to one of its governing characteristics, the deceptive error belief. That understanding is gained by the impressions of the senses in contacting the outer world, by books, teachers, experiences, instead of knowing that the true understanding comes from the Spirit of God within the soul of man. Okay, I did cover this before, but it's all right. You can't read. That's the best way to learn is to do things by rote. I mean, not by rote, but by repetition. So it's cool. You can look at the word and repetitive. You keep on looking at it, and then you can you can learn. You can commit it to memory. That's the important thing. You commit it to memory. Remember the scripture in the Bible where it talks about the unclean spirit. It talked about the unclean spirit, how when he goes out of a man, when the unclean spirit leaves a man, it goes in search of rest, or it goes in search of rest, seeking dry pastures and findeth none. And then it returned to the place where it left, and it finds the swept and garnished, meaning you don't replace the old way of thinking with the new way of thinking. You just move out, you sweep out the old way of thinking, but you don't go to work building your new foundation. So the unclean spirit, he said, wait a minute, hold on a second. I left, but nobody else moved in. Well, scripture says that he moves back in, and since it's like all swept and garnished, he says it's time for a party now. It's time for a party. You know what I mean? And he invited his friends, and then the scripture says that the last state of that man is worse than the first. So if you don't go to work, man, and I talked to that sister who was on the verge of committing suicide the other day. I hope she hadn't done anything. And I think of her, there are people in the world, man, they may have come to faith, but they didn't work it. They didn't water it, by learning, by listening, by doing. And you're just a swept house. You're a cleaned out house. And some spirit is going to see that, is what the Bible's saying. Some spirit is going to see it. And it's going to move back in and call all his buddies. And now you got all these spirits that they affecting you and influencing you and playing around with your thoughts and, putting the little light that was in you. And so to me, that helped explain, you got people. I mean, I'm telling you, man, a lot of broken people in the world. Man, they are so broken. It's a terrible thing. Terrible, terrible thing. Well, anyway, the metaphysical meaning of the word Javan, it says, it's like, to summarize, it's like when you place more emphasis on the outer physical senses than you do on the inner man, where Jehovah said he is. Like if you look at the world, they run to a man, they listen. The world is more inclined to listen to some, it's like, from what I've learned, people tend to look at, like if somebody say they spiritual, right? Or they tell somebody a little something that they didn't know, automatically people look at that person as, man, you must be spiritual, man. And that it earns their respect right away. It earned their respect. And then that's where the man, if he's deceiving them, he'll see that, he'll pick up on that easily, quickly, and he'll manipulate someone. Because of this, Javan right here, he realizes that people are willing to place basically more faith in other people and their ability to help them know the Creator than the ability you have in your own self. And the Creator say that's where he is. He say he's inside of you. You don't really, even in the Bible, it say something like, matter of fact, you know what? That would be a good verse to look at. Let's check it out real quick. I like that verse. You have no need that any man should teach you. King James Version. See? 1 John 2:27. It talks about faith. If you ask me, that's talking about faith. Look at that. You got an anointing. And the worst thing? The worst thing is we take it for granted. You take it for granted because it's like it don't have no value because it don't pay any money every week. We can't cash it in. It don't have no value in this reality, man. But the creator, now I believe this is the creator talking right here. I believe I can harmonize this with the OAHSPE. See, but we got a situation. We in a situation called Javen, where basically we trust the outer over the inner. That's basically what that's saying. What you can see, your senses, the side of your eyes, but the spirit, man, that's highly esoteric. You know, the brother came in the other day and he was talking about subjective versus objective learning, subjective versus objective. That was a real strong word that brother Cosman gave. He came in, he gave that word. Man, I'm telling you, that was pretty strong. That's a life lesson. How you can look at the world you live in. This is a very subjective world, meaning people put their feelings into something that's objective a lot. Now, I ain't saying subjective is not without value. It is, because it's like that inkling you get about something, a situation. I just believe it has its place. You know, like the school teacher or the brother, you know, the brother who does the Wednesday study. He was saying how the subjective. He was basically uh, teaching the difference between the two, how both are of value. You know, he said, like when you drive in a car and then you have an unction not to get in the next lane, you look over, you get ready to go over, but then you don't go into the next lane. You know, you get a spirit, a inspiration on you, and then a tractor trailer, it passes you up, so you would have hit it, or you know, if you had gotten in the lane. That is subjective right there. That's something that's not like written in a book. It's just something that it's a vibration and an anointing and unction that to help you to, you know, certain situations, you know, you get it. And then there's objective, where you observe a situation and it don't need no intervention of the spirit. You know, I mean, you ask somebody, what is that? You say, it's a piece of wood, man. You know, I mean, it is what it is. Shouldn't be no discussion about what it is. It's totally objective. But I think that we have a situation where people even have different understandings of what's objective, what should be objective. I think in most cases, I mean, you know, my point is that they have their place, was what I'm trying to share with you. You know, and I think that it's like the script, it says we don't have need that any man should teach us. I believe that. Now, I think that we need to be taught, but if we, like the basic principles, you talking about the creator, I think we can get it pretty easily. He giving you some things, you know, you don't need any man to teach you that if you break the law, you're going to go to jail. You know, you kind of grow up, you know, understanding that. And the same way in the spirit, you look at even Christianity, and they did have a focus, an emphasis on doing right, you know, loving one another, as do as unto others as you would have done it to yourself. You know what I mean? I mean, that's a principle in the OAHSPE that everybody can see it, you know. See, we talking about trying to make the kingdom, man. You know, that don't have no value in this world. We sitting up here talking about the kingdom of God. And, you know, we cross over and how we elevate and how, you know, there are different resurrections, and we want to make the highest one because it's all good. And that don't really, nobody's really into that. You know, the world is the Javen, the metaphysical word Javen. It's too strong, man, you know, where the sight of the eyes, the feeling of the senses, you know, it have more pull, it have more impact than to be speaking about things that you can't see, touch, feel, you know, that type of thing. So that's why I love to try to tell, hey, Fritz, Peace, love, and light to you, brother. Good to see you. So, our situation, man, I'm telling you, we're in a serious situation. I hope you, brother, finish. I hope you run the race, man. You know, every day. I hope you, if you, if you, if you, I hope you figuring out a way to see the Creator. You know, I sincerely mean that, man. Every word to where it becomes what the OAHSPE says is organic in you. Organic. See, that's another thing that in the Bible it talks about, and I think it's our situation too. Check this out. He says, "Oh, my little children, of who I am until Christ be formed in you." King James Version. Now, you got to translate it. You brother know you got to translate the Bible. You know what I mean? We got to translate it. You got to look at the spiritual principle of it. You got to look at the spiritual principles. You got to translate it, man. Just like the OAHSPE, you got to translate the OAHSPE sometimes. Like when the OAHSPE talk about the div, the div, and the diva, the diva, you got to translate. Well, you know, I'll give you an example. Like it talks about the div, and I translated it to mean like the prime minister. You know, like some countries have prime ministers. Some countries have prime ministers, and some countries have a parliament. The div is a prime minister, you know, or you can say president, you know what I mean? And then the diva is like the Congress, you know, House of Representatives, that sort of thing. So you have to translate the things sometimes, you know, either with the OAHSPE or with whatever you read, like to harmonize it with spirituality. What you know, man, what you know is the will of the Father, you know. And here it's good. You know, we're in this situation. My little children, whom I travail in birth until now, the Creator, we take that word, and the Creator be formed in you. The Creator, man, till He be formed in you. That means that you got a strength about you, you know. You're able to subscribe to, you know what I mean? I don't even have to explain it. You got a ability to be a faithist, man. You know, you got an ability to look at your brother the right way. You know, where it's endemic, man. It's in your character to follow the dictates of the OAHSPE. You know, you're not a little child anymore. Your foundation is kind of unsure and shaky. You know, the first piece of marshmallow, you know, you grab it and eat it, you know, even though it's not good for you ultimately. I mean, and when, you know, when you in accumulation, meaning in large quantities, you know what I mean? My little children, of whom I travail in birth again until the Creator be formed in you. Where you elevate in your spirit. Now you going from glory to glory. Now you going from glory to glory. That's the situation of faith. You got to see it, man. See? Even Paul, he spoke a lot of truth. We going from glory. You got to see it, man. You know? You got to believe it. You want to, when you look at the world, the big shots live on the 50th floor. Now, I don't like heights personally, but you get it. You know what I mean? They live in the rare air, man, way up there in the sky, you know? You know, the top floor. And I know that with the OAHSPE, it ain't really, it's really, if you look at it, really, it's not about selfishness. The OAHSPE, it ain't about selfishness. Like, it just ain't, man. You know, It's more about, I mean, just like that story in the OAHSPE where it talks about that king, I think it was Asia. And I think, who was it Sedantes or what god was it that was, Dave, that was dealing, who was that? I'm trying to remember, I can't remember. Was dealing with that king, and he basically told him, you're going to have to give up your kingdom. The king said, what do I get in return? He said, nothing. He said nothing. Remember that? Does somebody remember that? If anybody's in here, you remember who that person, you remember that story? He said, what do I get? I give up my kingdom. Okay, that's cool. Now, what do I get? And the angel said, nothing. You don't get nothing. Now, the way it worked is the Creator is saying, do it by faith. Do it because you want to. And then you get everything. But don't look for it. Don't expect it. Just do it because you think it's right. Do it because it's right, man. Now you home free. Do it because it's you. It's good and right, man. It make you feel good inside to bless your brother, serve him, and don't worry about being a god or being on top. Don't have that mind in you. That's what the kingdom is. See, we getting ready to read it right now. We getting ready to read it. I'm gonna go ahead and do the reading. Oh, it's a lovely story, man. It's basically for you, brother, who can't hang out. It's basically saying that. It's basically saying like, this is what you pass it up if you don't want to. If you don't want to subscribe to the kingdom, man, if you feel like it's all fairy tale to you, you can't subscribe to it. It don't grab you, or it's like the Creator. It's like he's saying, hey, look, I'm gonna take time out and show you. Let me show you a little something. Let me show you a little something, man, to light your fire. Now, I talked about this a couple videos ago, but I didn't get to it because it was in the later chapter that I'm going to read today. And so it's like the Creator saying, look, man, you need to see this so you can be encouraged. I'm going to show you, the OAHSPE says that men, they build their foundation and then they get a little crumb of glory, and it just totally destroys their kingdom. Like, you look at New York City, all the big buildings, you look at man's cities, you're impressed, it's magnificent, it's glorious, you say, man, can't nobody do better than this. And then the Creator, he said, you know what, I'm going to show you a little glimpse. I'm going to give you a little crumb, man. And that's basically the account that I'm going to be reading. So the OAHSPE, Creator, he shows this king a little crumb, and not only the king, but all the subjects, they flipped out, man. They went crazy wanting that kingdom, They were demanding it. You see what happens when faith turns to sight? Dave says, yep, the defectors. Okay. Thanks, bro. Yep, the defectors from Ahura Mazda, petitioning the true God of more. Thanks, brother. I think that's the account I was looking for. The one I was thinking about is where this king, he said, man, my kingdoms ain't nothing. They falling to the ground. The spiritual grade, it's real low, man. I don't know what to do. They doing their own thing. I can't make them work because they'll quit, And then that's when the Lord, who I don't know who was. It was, I guess it was, maybe it was Ahura Mazda. And he basically gets him and says, man, look, come here, man. Let me show you something. So let's go ahead with the account. Let's go ahead with the reading of the word. Let me make the words bigger so hopefully you can read it. And man, I hope it blesses your soul, because half of the kingdom is the ability to hope, in something. That's where you Libras have an advantage. if it's one thing that we can do better than most other signs, we can utilize hope. You know, the belief in something that the world considers improbable. That's the strong point of a Libra. They have the ability to hope in something. To hope. They have that drive where they can believe something that is kookiness to somebody else. You know, the creator, he glorifies himself in Libra that way. You know, we all of us, man, really, you know, are beautiful one way or another. We all make up part of that multicolored garment. Okay. Now may the creator bless the reading of his word. Now I'm starting out because in chapter 3, because Brother Cosman came on and he taught us a lesson, and I left off reading. Now let me see how far it is till chapter 4. How far do I have to go before I get to chapter 4? Okay, yeah, so I can make it. I can make it. So I want to try to pick up where I left off. Now, again, here's an account where just keep in mind that the creator is dealing with someone and he needs to show him glory, basically. Now, I'm picking up where I left off the last time I was in this chapter. I was doing a run-up. To what I wanted to show. Now, it says, I have created 2 states, therefore open to all men, both on earth and in atmosphere, which are liberty and bondage. That was the name of the last video. So I'm picking up from there. And it says, and I made man to choose that which he will, free will. But so that he might not err, behold, I send my emancipated angels to explain things beforehand. And that's why we have the OAHSPE. The OAHSPE, that's a footnote. The OAHSPE is a guidebook. It's a practical guidebook. It's there to help us, to give us a comprehensive overview of spirituality, some things that are going on. It says, verse 4, even so are governments ordained by my holy ones. Accordingly, you may judge whether a government is of me or against me. For if it gives liberty to all righteous works and for the promotion of knowledge, providing teachers to the extent of the demand, it is of me. But if the government makes of itself a self for which its aggrandizement is at the expense of my children's liberty, then it is against me. Aggrandizement means its development, accumulation, greatness, increase in extent, power, might, prominence, stature, influence, significance. Meaning it's all for itself, the government. Now, that video I read that I looked at yesterday that Brother Dave shared, it tells you about the Vatican, man. You know, it's a funny thing, man. I never subscribed to the Vatican and Catholic Church, and that's why I never even bothered to look or research them. I knew they were off. I just knew it in my soul, man, you know? And nowadays, I'm kind of looking at them, and I mean, I hate to sound negative, man. You know, the Tetracts, the Hebrew Tetracts, is, you know, it says don't sound negative. It says don't even repeat the evil report, you know. But the video I was looking at talking about how the secrecy required to reveal in order to go into their vaults where they hold these writings and these works, thousands of books, man, spiritual books, you know, and they got a lot of secrecy. See, it's like if we were more likely, we had access to what goes on in the works that they're not sharing with us, we'd probably overthrow it. The whole world probably would go up in flames, or at least their kingdom would go up they wouldn't be able to have power over people. See, it's a form of self-aggrandizement, and even with the with carnal governments, I mean, their whole agenda is to increase and have power over you, to control you, control their kingdom. The OAHSPE, it talks about fallen gods, how their desire, man, is to rule over men. You know, it's like, you know, it's like, you know, a guy, he wants all women to love him, you know. I mean, you know what I mean? A government. But their thing is they want all the resources. They want to live the highest life. They want, and even if that means their elevation at the expense of their poor brother who has to work and slave like a dog. He could barely make it, man, you know, have to struggle to live on the earth, can't afford food. That's the situation we in right now. The creator, he letting it happen. He calls it a boundary to teach us a lesson. Do you want man's kingdom or do you want mine? And then verse 5, it says, for I have not created a people to be today as their forefathers were, but provided them with perpetual growth and wisdom and virtue, for which reason the rising generation, what? Look, they shall rebel against that which was well and good for their forefathers. We shall rebel. You read the OAHSPE, it say that the children, there comes a time, that's why one of the big problems that I see with the Hebrew Israelites, if you still preaching hate, man, and separation, you have not changed. You come in teaching that, and you go out teaching that, you have not made no progress. You ain't making no progress, right? And the creator says the things that were taught earlier, they are not sufficient for the spirits of men, his children, his women, men, and children now. The teaching had an expiration date, man. So we needed new teaching. Well, it's not really new, but you know what I mean. It harmonizes with the need that we have today. You know, babies eat formula. Adults eat meat. You know what I mean. You know what I mean. You know what I mean. I mean, you don't. Look, man. You know what I'm saying. If you still, you know, in high school, man, drinking formula. Come on, man. You know that's not. Something's wrong there. See. It's the same way spiritually, man. And that's why faithists are able to elevate, because they can receive what the creator is doing. They don't stay still. They ain't stagnated. They keep it moving. We growing. We need, you know, who knows? He may give us another OAHSPE chapter. Somebody somewhere in the world right now could be getting used to channel new information, to receive it. We can't stagnate like the Hebrew Israelites do. I don't mean to sound negative against them, man. You know, but they the same way. I mean, and I was in them. I joined them like 2010. I was still on there on the corner with them, sharing the same things that I learned. And I started out in 2008. And the same things in 2017, you know, had not grown one iota. Not one, you know what I mean. You know what I mean. All my governments understand this, whether on earth or in heaven. Whatever governments does not accept this, the rule shall go. Does not accept this rule shall go down to destruction. So if the government feeds itself and not the people, you're on borrowed time, brother. You know, you're on borrowed time. And that's the situation we in today. Now you got, I mean, we kill people like we're desensitized to it. It ain't no thing to kill people, women, children. The way them people are dying, Netanyahu is bombing. He bombs those people because he wants to stay in office, because he knows if he leaves office, he's got to go to jail. So if the whole world has to go down before he goes to jail, then so be it. It's fine with him. He doesn't mind. That's why he'll never agree to any type of peace deal, because he knows when that conflict stops, then he's got to face the music. And no tyrant, no king is willing to give up that good life, man. 10-star meals, free money, gifts from other leaders, and selling out your office for money. And ain't nobody giving that up, man, So he ain't going, and he's a Scorpio. That means that before his family go down, he'll bring the whole world down. He's a survivor. So government is the same way, They ain't giving up nothing. And even if it means the destruction of the world. Creator says that you don't serve the people. If you do not accept this rule, you go down to destruction. It says, for I have hedged man about with sentinels such as pestilence, poverty, hunger, in order to awaken him to wake up, man. Are you tired of being sick? Are you tired of being ignorant? You see what happens when you are, then the vicissitudes of life come and kick you square in the behind. If you don't want to learn, get a trade, you're going to go hungry, man. If you don't, you know what I mean? He says, he calls these sentinels. Look at that. He says, for I have hedged man about with sentinels. Sentinels are watchmen, to keep you in line. Hey, get away from that fence, You know what I mean? Do this, do that, a way of, let's get the definition. Let's see if there's a definition. Sentinels. Okay. Let's see if there's what is the definition of sentinels? A sentinel, a soldier or guard. Okay. So it's a soldier or guard whose job is to stand and keep watch. And so the creator, he says that he gives us life situations to teach us to get on the right road. So when people go off, then he gives pestilence, poverty, hunger, in order to awaken him to knowledge and industry, how to deal with or overcome the situation. He says, so I have hedged in all governments under the sun with sentinels, such as, look at this, rebellion, assassination, war, bankruptcy, as pestilence proves man's disobedience to my commandments. So do rebellion and anarchy prove the disobedience of governments to the progressive spirit which I created with them. So that's why I watch geopolitically the events of the world. That's why I look at them. Because every time I see the events of the world and they line up with the OAHSPE, it confirms my faith in the Creator to tell the truth. To tell the truth about man's spirit. That's why I look at events of the world. It's a confirmation to me, and it thrills my soul, man. Oh, he did it again to me, man. He killing me. The brother is killing me, man. Oh, man, to the point that I don't even know what screen that I meant to switch to. I'm here looking at the reading. So I guess it's the reading that I hadn't. Oh, you killing me, Dave. You killing me, brother. Oh, man. I'm sorry. I wasn't even showing the screen. He always jabs at me, man, when I don't share the screen. because I got this set up to where I can't see the screen. I trust that I can remember when to share it. I gotta stretch it so I can. Man, it kills when he does that to me. Okay, well, anyway, here we go. So the Creator, he gave us like sentinels to hedge us in and, to govern our behavior, okay, through pain compliance. He tries to use that to govern man's behavior. Okay, so it says, the self-God says, I will make a strong government by armies and cruel masters. I will bind the subjects in my dominions. And he draws up a multitude of laws and heaps up books to explain the laws and finds judges to explain the books that explain the laws. And he says, behold, how wise I am. Behold, the great wisdom of my judges. Behold, the great learning of my books. Behold, my most perfect laws. Behold, my army says, stand in great power beyond all. That's America, British, French colonialism for your behind, man. That's what they say. Look at my laws. Look at my society. Look at my justice system. Look at my governments. That's what he says, man. We read earlier where the Creator said, you do things to aggrandize your government, that government will fall. It's going to fall. See, that's why you need to get a lawyer, to read man's laws, Look at that. He heaps up books. Go to a law library. Look at all them books, man. Teaching you how to fight a traffic ticket. You got to read all them books, man. You see, all that's confusion. And then you still lose the case anyway because of the technicality. See there? All kinds of people explaining the books, explaining the laws. And really, that's what they say in their heart. Look at me. Look how wise I am. Check me out, man. Look at my great wisdom. See? That's why they separate themselves by their attire. They wear black robes, letting you know I'm a judge. So you just better watch it, buddy, when you talk to me. Because I'm smarter than you. I'm more important than you. And that's why I'm wearing this uniform to let you know, brother, you better watch your step. Look at my uniform. In the military, they adorn themselves, officers, with gold, like fringes, and they put a gold strip on their hats to let you know to salute them, because they're more important than you. You know what I mean? They give themselves names. I'm an admiral. I'm a general. Look at these 4 stars on my shoulders. See, the pride, man, of man. He just can't stop aggrandizing himself. He will not stop, man. Behold the great learning of my books. Behold, most perfect laws. Behold my armies that stand in great power behind all. But lo, a star appears in heaven, and all his fabric gives away like a spider's web. For instead of choosing his Creator, who is strong, nope, I'm on the right tab. Oh, that was for before. I thought it just came. Let me see. Is that on the screen? Yeah, I'm on the right screen. Okay. So his Creator is saying, but I show him a little glimpse of my glory, and their whole system just falls apart, man, with fear. See? Look, but lo, a star appears in heaven, and all its fabric gives away like a spider's web. Meaning you could hit a spider's web with a puff of air and it'll destroy it, And so the Creator said, man, your government, it ain't nothing compared to what, you know what? It ain't nothing. Why do you boast in something that ain't nothing? It says, hear your Creator, oh my God. Now the Creator still speaking to his God below him, his God. He says, for through my Son, I bequeath a new light to the lower heaven. For as you have portioned to the self-gods to take kingdoms, suffer from them to hedge themselves around with a multitude of laws, but you yourself shall have no laws, except the rites and ceremonies which shall adorn with music and processions. See, that's the Ethereal kingdom, man. It's all rites and processions, oaths and music and dancing and marching and, it's all good. Verse 9, and it shall come to pass that the dominions of the Self-gods will prosper for a season for the sake of self-glory. They will deplete the earth people, familiar spirits, and feudals, but afterwards their subjects will tire of the laws of the self-gods, and hearing that you have no laws, meaning they're going to look at faith and say, hey, but they ain't got no laws, man. But look at how they get down. Everything's all good with them. You know, that's where I want to go over there, man. I'm tired of, I got a billion law. I got 613 law, statute, and commandments, and I can't even learn them. And, chances are I may not understand, it's that people are getting tired of that. They don't want that type of being ruled over like that. They see us, they say, they see our tithes and ceremonies. It says they will of their own accord come to Horeb. That's the heavenly council. The heavenly council. I want to say ethereal council, but I can't really say that right. Aha! I got you to admit I'm on the right screen. It says the voice ceased, but Sue said, behold, a time comes in all the atmospheric heavens when the discipline of former days must give way to something new. And now is such a time in this kingdom, it may be compared to a young child who's been led by the hand for a long time, but now it's come strong enough to walk alone. So Crater said, the old way didn't work with you, okay? I'm going to show you something new now so that you will bear the fruit that I'm looking for. I'm desiring, the faith I want you to have in me. So it says, for this purpose, the earth has been brought along the fields of Israka. I don't know what that is. And my hosts have come with music and wisdom. It says, hear then my decree, O God of earth, and you shall be the most blessed of gods. So Crater, from what I was saying, he's talking about these gods whose kingdoms are falling and decline. And so he's basically showing them, now watch what I'm going to do. So it says, hear then my decree, O God of earth, and you shall be in the most blessed of gods. Send your messengers in all parts of Atmosphere, proclaiming a recreation of 10 days of music, dancing, and marching, with pageantry and feasting. I like that part, brother. That's food. Feasting, right? Feasting to be in Horeb on the first of the moon of Japheth. Right? Horeb is the heavenly kingdom. It says the rest leave to the Father, for he will provide us in that time. And while the time is coming, I will go around the earth with my hosts and my ethereal ship. God said, I perceive your wisdom, O Jehovah. In your decrees, I'm raised up with new wisdom and power. Oh, that I could have devised a way for them before they fell so low. So the God of the kingdom that's going down, it's like he's he sees that the deficiency of what he understood before Jehovah is talking to him here about raising up his kingdom. He says, verse 15, Sue called the council. Sue is the God, the righteous God, the Son of God. Sue called the council and his hosts from labor to recreation for one day. And the people mingled together, rejoicing, for there were many Ethereans with the host of Sue, who had been earthborn. Now, Sue was a man. He was a man. He was earthborn. He was earthborn. They're spirit-born and they're earthborn. Remember? And I think, let me see. I think abortions are spirit-born. I mean, if they don't they don't have realization of spirit of earthly things, aren't they considered? Well, I guess they are earth-born. I don't think that spirit-born or ever-born. There's a difference. You have brethren who are earth-born, like us. We're earth-born, future kings and queens. Right now, we're on the earth. There are gods and goddesses who are not. They weren't born on the earth. We have a greater understanding of the carnal things, and we'll have a full understanding of spiritual things. From what I understand, non-earth-born gods and goddesses will not have the comprehension that you, brethren, will have. Correct me if I'm wrong. It says, let me read that again real quick. It says, the host of Sue, who had been earthborn a many thousands of years before, and their assurance of the emancipated heavens above had greater weight with atmospherians than anything others could say. Then Su and his host visited the earth and her heavens, and after that returned again to Horeb. So it's saying that when we get if we get the testimony of another earthborn Etherian, and they tell us what's going on in the spiritual, we would tend to believe that more than anything because they were on the earth, they were mortals. So Su is going to use them for this. He's going to use them for this event that's coming up right here in chapter 4. It says, when the time of the festival came, more than 1 billion souls besides the Etherian host had congregated in Horeb, the heavenly council, to witness and to participate in the ceremonies. Remember, the Creator called for a day of ceremony or a day of revelation of the spiritual, basically, to summarize it. He's going to show the God what the Etherian realm looks like in order to spark him to lift up his kingdom. The Creator is going to show him now. It says, Su said, here is wisdom and folly, false gods and their dupes, laziness and industry, swiftness and sloth. Yes, here is a world worthless before Jehovah. And why? Simply for lack of discipline and harmony. Everyone is for self, and none are producers for the general good. Alas, they are the same as mortals, but stripped of flesh. They are what's the word? The worshipers, the subjects of the God here whose kingdom is falling. He's saying they are they here. It says, alas, they are the same, are the lords and God, the lords and angels, because these are not mortals. It says they are the same as mortals. So it's talking about the Etherian or the atmospherian lords and angels who were ruling over a kingdom that they were failing. And here it says they are the same as mortals. It's equating the lords and angels as the same as the mortal man in their fallenness, their ineffectiveness, but stripped of flesh, letting you know these are spirit beings. They are of no value to one another, mortals, lords, or angels, and consequently of no value to themselves. Now I will show you, O God, that these hapless beings with no joy in life or hope of resurrection shall become a great glory to the Father in his kingdom. So the Creator is going to take what has fallen down. Basically, he's going to show you how he's going to raise them up. And basically, he's going to show you a glimpse of the spiritual. Let me see. Dave, he says, Etherian gods, earthborn, came from Earth as their home planet. Okay. Etherians who are not earthborn came from another planet in the galaxy. Okay, I got it. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Etherian gods are earthborn. Earthborn Etherian gods came from Earth. They came from Earth. Earthborn. They were mortal men like us. And it was their home planet. Same for us. Our home planet is Earth. It says, but Etherians not earthborn, they came from another planet, the galaxy. Isn't that something? Thanks, brother. It says, God said, pity them. It says, okay, so now the festivity, the Creator is going to raise up a people and the atmospherian spirit beings who have fallen down in their spiritual grave. And so it says, now I will show you, O God, that these hapless beings with no joy in life or hope of resurrection shall become a great glory to the Father and his kingdoms. So these are people, they're going to get resurrected. And here's how he's going to do it. God said, pity them. This is the one who's ruling over his kingdom who have fallen down. He says, pity them, O Father. It is over 1,000 years since they have been visited by a higher heaven. And many of them are learned, but doubting if there are other heavens except the plateaus of atmosphere of the earth. Millions and millions of them have never seen an Etherian. Alas, I fear for them. So these are people that have known nothing else other than the earth. And Su said, fear not, O God, they are like mortar in my hands. So here's Su. I mean, Su is talking now, not the Creator. But same thing, really, anyway. Su said, fear not, O God, they are like mortar in my hands. Neither shall they be preaching nor praying for them. They are tired of these. They're tired of these things. But I will found a new light among them. It shall speak for us. Hear me then. With the populace, I shall be as one that is unknown. Call then your esnars, I think that's the singers, the trumpeters, the musicians, are the singers, and your trumpeters and harpists and all the musicians they're the praisers. Call then your singers and trumpeters and harpists and all the musicians belonging to your kingdom and to the kingdoms of your lords. And let the procession begin. So now the lower heavens, they're going to bring their witness of what they think the higher realms is. So they're going to do their jig, and then the Ethereum's going to do their thing. So we're going to see the difference now. It says, for in all public matters, those who are at the front, if wise, can lead on forever. Be politic. Politic, it means expedient and used to your advantage. So, for in all public matters, those who are at the front, if wise, can lead on forever, meaning they're advantageous to lead. Therefore, and shape the populace while the self-gods are amazed at the immensity of the hosts assembled. I can't really translate that. It says, God did as commanded, and the people saw there was a head to the proceedings. So the festivities are getting set up. Okay, it's going to be the atmospherians versus the Ethereans, basically. That's what we're looking at. It says, Sue said, send your marshals and decorators to follow close behind the musicians, distributing raiment to... Okay, this is the setup of the higher realm to the lower realm, instructing them how to present their best. I would say they're showing the lower realm, like, do your presentation this way. Here, wear this, say this, march, do this, do that. God did his commandment, and the people saw there was a head to the proceedings. Sue said, send your marshals and decorators to follow close behind the musicians, distributing raiment to all who will follow the procession. My Etherean hosts are advised. They will stand by the way and with marvelous swiftness provide the raiment. All possible extravagant colors and fabrics, hats, and ornaments shall be gratuitously, meaning abundantly, distributed. So they're going to be adorned, fancy looking clothing, full of pomp, and they're going to do their thing, their dance, their celebration. It says, my hosts, and the Ethereans are basically servants. They're the higher realm, the high raised beings. They're going to serve the atmospherians, and they're going to act as servants. It says, my host shall be arrayed in plain white. So it's like you say, you are going to be decked out, while my high raised beings, they just going to wear ordinary clothing, just plain white. And they shall not march, but be as servants and workmen. And when the atmospherians have played and sung over all the boundaries of Oreb, then my Etherean band shall sing and play and start the dance. So basically, if you ever seen the Negro colleges marching bands, that's the high-raised beings, man. Now, if you've ever seen an elementary school dance team, it's like them competing against, Howard University or Jackson State, that's basically what the rundown is here. It says all these things were done, and from the very start of the termination of the music, there was harmony in every place and corner from the beings ascended. So the lower heavens, they did their production, and it was very fruitful, it was very beneficial, it was very good. Okay. Now it says, nor was there ever a so extravagantly equipped multitude in the earth's heaven. So the best that the earth could do, They did their presentation. And it says, and so completely captivated were the people that their enthusiasm was boundless. Then came the Ethereum dance. Here comes Jackson State. It says, which so surpassed the capacity of the Ethereum atmospheres that no one could join it. So it's like, you know, the pros against a third grade team, you know. It says, nor could they take part in the Ethereum music. It was too much for them. So the atmospheres looked on confounded by the excellence of that which was before their eyes. They blown away by the Ethereans. Ethereans are now, they singing, dancing, and marching, and they blown away, you know. See, the creator, he's showing, man, there is so much greater than the best that you can do. It says, thus ended the first stage proceedings, which to describe in full will require a large book. So the people were called to refreshment. And the Ethereans still dress in white, and as servants and laborers provided the viands. You know what viands is? Viands? Deliciously prepared food. Brother, I'm with that, man. You know? Viands. The Ethereans cooking. They cooking up there, man. For they had previously prepared a supply of material. And so easily and swiftly did they do their work that now for the first time the more learned of atmosphere began to observe them with surprise and wonder. Presently inquiries were made as to who they were and where they came from. For so Jehovah created man that went of his own accord. He admires the excellence of his neighbor. He goes to the extreme in praising him. So when men see a little taste, man, a little taste, they flip out, man. They flip out. That's what the creator is trying to show. He's trying to tell us what you headed for. If you can endure, you flip out, man. So God said, tomorrow a new entertainment shall be given, and new raiment, and new viands for the feast. And the host shouted. They like, man, this is out of sight, and you got something better. And so look, it said the people and the host, they shouted, all right, man, it's forthcoming, you know, with great vigor and praise. Then the people mingled together to converse on all they had witnessed. Neither did they comprehend the object except for pleasure only. It says, when the next day came, the Ethereans had been divided into groups, and the rites of the ancients and other hosts of Ag and Parta were announced. Where the hosts of Ag and Parta were announced, requiring extravagant preparations and millions of atmospheres as assistants. So the footnote says including costuming and other accessories, grooming, and set design, it required extravagant preparation. So they're gonna knock it out now. It says, so great was their ambition to take part, the atmospheres with the Ethereans. It says, so great was their ambition to take part that it was only by promises of something in the next rites that the marshals were able to make selections. Okay, I can't explain that right now. It says, Su, Jehovah's son, had previously stationed signal bells at remote distances from one another, but connected them so that the sounds would answer quickly. And in the intervening places, extemporized forests and waterfalls were arranged. Near the middle space, 1,000 columns of fire were erected. So on the morning of the second day, when all the glorious scenes were completed with the Ethereans still plain and in white, stationed here and there, the atmospheres were more confounded than ever and more loudly shouting in their praise. First came the birth rites, then marriage rites, then death rites, and the first resurrection. Then the rites of harmony, and the play represented 1 million Ethereans who went on to a corporal world and followed it through its life, and for death and resurrection is darkness, disharmony, and terrible suffering in atmosphere, ending with a tablio of a great son of light descending to deliver them into everlasting paradise. Okay, the tablio is a portrayal, illustration, scene, and representation that is dramatic and striking. So the Ethereans are showing us reality. Make a long story short, they showed us the ups and the downs, highs and the lows, and now they're going to compare it with Etheria. And so that presentation, it says it was so grand, was the spectacle and the sublime, the music and spoken words that the hosts of Horeb wept and laughed and shouted and prayed as if their souls would break with joy. So the presentation, the Etherians are showing mortals, showing the atmospherians what it was like, the difference between the spiritual and the physical, that it was so clear in this overstanding that it produced a great response to the lower realms. I mean, they really got the message. It says, thus ended the second day, and so complete was the glorious work that every soul had sworn an oath to forsake the earth and lower heaven forever. Then God announced for the third day the display of Etherian power. And it says that the people were so bewildered already that a child could have led the most stubborn of all. For thus Jehovah created man, who had become such conceited in himself, turns right around and makes him a submissive fool. So the power of the things that the atmospherians, the lower heavens have seen, it totally changed their mind from conceit to willing servants. It says, so on the third day, the Etherians displayed their power over the elements of the atmosphere, making corporeal substances, dissolving them at pleasure, making light and darkness into light, weaving fabrics, making diadems and precious stones, gathering viands, that's food, brother, from the essence of things, vaporated up from the earth, founding plateaus and temples in heaven, making ships and chains and musical instruments. And lastly, the Etherian marshals, with 500,000 Etherians, they turned the winds, sent the heavy shower of rain down to the corporal earth. And all that time, the musicians of the hostess who were playing music, the sweetness and grandeur of which so greatly surpassed that of the atmospherians, that any of theirs would be as nothing in comparison. So because of the exhibition of great power and wisdom, the third day it changed the fortunes and aspirations of every man and woman in the lower heaven. And they were running here and there, pleading to be taken as apprentices or servants, pledging themselves to do anything required of them. Neither would they be put off, meaning they wasn't taking no for an answer. I want to be a part of the Etherians. I ain't taking no for an answer, demanding that half the next day should be given to initiating them as real beginners in the second resurrection. Then God spoke to them, saying, you do not know what you ask. Behold, I have commanded you for hundreds of years to put away your fine raiment and sparkling gems. See, because up to this point, they were well adorned and they were outfitted gloriously. And Creator is saying, I told you to get rid of that a long time ago, but you didn't get it. And I'm showing you now that my servants are elevated, and you were the ones being served, but you desire to serve now. It says, behold, I've commanded you for hundreds of years to put away your fine raiment and sparkling gems, and to begin adorning your souls so as to become brides and bridegrooms of the Great Spirit. But you would not, but strove continually to adorn yourselves, forgetting to labor for those beneath you. Behold, Jehovah's brides and bridegrooms now stand before you. What is their worth compared to yours? Are they not plain? And are you not decorated? So because of what the servants did for you, you suffered, you got the benefit, but how did you benefit those who were serving you? But millions of voices rose up saying, we'll do whatever you command, O God. There is no God like you. Then God spoke, saying, hear me then further. To begin the second restoration requires this: put away your jewels, diadems, ornaments, and above all things, forsake yourself. And from this time forward, to labor for others who are beneath you. Labor for others who are beneath you. If you do this in the brotherhood, you are already beginning the second resurrection. Neither is there any other road to wisdom and power. Again, the multitude cried out, we will do anything. We have faith. And God answered them, saying, permit then a few to be initiated tomorrow, but be patient and of good judgment. Slow to resolve, but firm forever. Be patient. Just be patient, and we'll get to you too. So on the fourth day in the morning, behold, there were more than 100 million spirits had abandoned their showy raiment and stood. They were willing to take off of their showy out man and subscribe to the inner man. You know, it wasn't the outside that mattered, but the inside of a man. And their showy raiment stood arrayed in white, ready to serve, devoid of jewels, diadems, ready to be initiated, take the vows of the second resurrection. Accordingly, new music was prepared, and the procession and ceremony so arranged that the greatest possible glory would be manifested. Canopies were stretched overhead, and the borders of the march, arches and columns were placed, decorated with flowers and vines, and these half concealed were nestled the response singers, who were to speak for and with the initiates, but concealed from view and not in the distance were bells and explosives, which were the morning signals. Okay. It says, and the glad and solemn sound of the immortal voice came upon the souls of millions impatient man, who followed themselves to a new life. And God and his host welcomed them with great joy. So grand and imposing were the ceremonies that before midday, another 100 million came, robed in white, to be initiated also, nor did the people desire any other entertainment. And so the initiations were continued on the fifth day, and again another 100 million. So now the numbers are getting bigger and bigger. And they were also robed in white, willing to serve. And this was continued on the 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th days on. And lo, behold, 1 billion angels had taken the vows of his second resurrection, man. And that will conclude the reading of this word. And I'm just blown away, man. I hope that blesses your soul. The creator is trying to show us, man. You know, it's like, don't look at what's here and now. Look at what's ahead of you, man. Look at what's ahead of you. Talked about the singing, the dancing, the food, the power, everything that a man could desire. But he must take off that desire to aggrandize himself. I'm opening the room. If anyone want to come in and share about what we talked about, and put the link in the room. And, by all means, man, if somebody you want to share something or anything, I'm not going to be doing videos on this weekend because I don't do that anymore. And so please, if anyone wants to comment or whatever, feel free. I'm going to keep the room open for another minute or so. I love this. I love this reading, man. All those people, man, once they got just a little glimpse of what etheria is, you know how it is, like when, that was beautiful, wasn't it? It's stuff like that. That's why, that's why I got to look at what goes on, geopolitically. I got to look at the earth. I also love to look at what etheria is all about. And the creator said, you go in there if you're able to elevate your spirit, which basically means change your mind. Just change your mind from the earth vibration, change it to the spiritual. Just change it. Change while you're here in this reality, man. Change your mind. Change it. Just decide to receive it. Do you mean to tell me that you're willing to believe in nothing? Because you don't know, because you're not sure. So you're going to wait and find out when it could be much, much harder. From what I understand, you cross over, you stay in the same position. You're pretty much, you're the same way as you are when you're on the earth, just without a body. You don't got a body no more. You still going to work, still pissed off. They ain't paying you enough. You don't get the promotion, until you change your mind, man. The creator, he know all that. Change your mind, man. Elevate in your spirit. Not only do you leave that vibration and reality behind, but you, like what we read tonight, man, you go from, now we know what glory to glory means. And the Bible talks about going from glory to glory, you know, the first resurrection, second resurrection, third resurrection, etheria. See, that's what it's all about, man. You know, that's what it's all about. When you receive that, you home free, man. Once you leave the earth, once you leave it, man, you home free. You home free, brother. You just change your mind. Stop with all the questions. Just change your mind. You know, and the Creator, there ain't nothing else in the world, man, that reassures. There ain't no teaching. There ain't no nothing. No, I'm not trying to sound negative, but I'm saying, this is a proving ground. Each of us are deciding where our place is. We're each deciding right now. We're going to do it here, and we're going to do it in the eternal, in the spiritual. All your relatives right now, they're in school, either laboring or some are elevating. Those who labor, they just make the choice. You make the choice there like you do here. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, man. If you don't want all that good resurrection, the Creator, it's like you say, okay, it's up to you. If you want to stay working 40 hours in the first resurrection, not being paid enough, dealing with people who can't stand your guts, that's what the Creator is saying is awaiting you until you change your mind, man. Do battle with the tetrarchs, the evil inclination. Do battle with them, man. The Creator, he said that it's going to be a part of us, but that don't mean you can't fight. You got two fists. I remember at a softball game, I wasn't doing too good, and a brother, he said, "Hey, Kurt, what's that? What is that in your hands?" I said, "A bat." He said, "Swing it." Oh, and the Creator, he's saying, man, it's the same thing. Hey, man, what's that in your hand? A bat? Swing it. Oh, man. See, that's all it is, man. When you learn reality, you learn what we're here for. We learn what's ahead of us. You're going to swing the bat. You're going to swing it, brother. And you don't need nobody else. I mean, it's great if they with you, you have somebody with you. But the way the Creator does it, he says, he gives you. See, we're reaping now. We're really reaping. Faithists are really reaping now because we got this word. It's like the new wine at a wedding. First, we had the bad wine, and then traditionally, they gave you the bad first, and then that which is better later, because you wouldn't be able to drink as much, and they'd have some for the next day, But it's the same way now, man. Same way now. Faithists, we got a greater revelation. We chewing on it, and we ain't never going back to the earth, man. We're going to keep elevating. We realize situations are they're opportunities meant for us to overcome. You're not going to get a faith that's off of the light, man. It's like a bulldog. He latch on, and that's it, man. If he gets overstanding. So anyway, brethren, thank you for joining me. I want to give thanks to the Heavenly Father, Earthly Mother, for this incredible. So you see why it's a joy. You see why it's an incredible opportunity, man, to take and to seek after the Creator, share His word, and just take advantage of the opportunity that we have to elevate to where we can be a part of what we witnessed today in the reading. I mean, it said that after the first presentation of the Ethereans, the people went nuts, man. And they hadn't even seen the other two presentations. And millions of people wanted to turn and wanted to become servants for the Creator. They saw the joy. They saw the wisdom. They saw the power of the high-raised Etherians, the high-raised earthborn Etherians, and they wanted a part of it. If you can receive it, man, it's sitting there waiting for you. It's sitting there waiting. And that promise could manifest for any of you faithists at any moment, man. At any moment, we could be turned into the spiritual. You should think about that. We are all one step, man. We're one step from the end of our opportunity while we're on the earth. We're all one step, brother. So I want to give thanks to my Heavenly Father, Earthly Mother, for you, brethren, joining me and allowing me to share this light with you. Pray you brethren. Pray that we all make the kingdom, man. Plain and simple, So until I see you, brethren, again on video, no videos on the weekend. So until I see you, brethren, again. Hey, brother. All right. I'm glad you liked it. Now, that really makes my day. My brother there. Yes. I loved it. I loved that lesson, man. That's why, I was sharing the story the other day about, the girlfriend I used to have. And she had she just needed like assurance, like every hour of the day, man, you tell a woman you love her, and evidently it really strikes a chord with her. It has an effect on her that I don't know if it has an effect on men the same way, but it makes them feel a certain way. Now, I couldn't understand it back then, and it wore me out. But now I'm the same way. I'm the same way. See how life is? First, Creator, he gives you people. You don't understand them. And then he turns around, he puts you in their shoes, and now you get it. See? Isn't that how it is? You see? I love it, man. Good to see you, bro. Good to see you, Chuck. Good to see you, man. All right, that's it, man. Thank you for joining me, brother. Pray the Creator give you peace, love, blessing, and light. Till I see you on video. Yeah, affirmation. Yeah, brother. That's true, man. That's true. Even wild animals respond to affirmation. Even wild animals. You see people with pet animals, man. I mean, lions and tigers. And they all respond the same way. A wild animal, man. That's what people want. That's what the Creator's saying. I know you want that. I know you want that. Don't you think I know it? Well, here, come and get it, man. You want it? Come get it. That's what he's saying, basically. He's saying, if you want it, come and get it then. In the world, there's a term, oh, she's easy. She's easy, she's without character, and you can't make that same application to guys because women have a greater weight of virtue on them. But you look at the spiritual, it's the same way, man. It ain't easy. This word, this life, this faith, the faithless, you brethren, I'm telling you, even pets. They respond to love, man. Even a wild animal can do it. We all want that. See? That's what the Creator teaching. I've seen, on YouTube, they got videos of people with carnivorous animals. Carnivorous, and man, they respond. They respond to that vibration. The Creator, he teaching us a lesson. He's saying that is open to us to receive on a daily basis. Now, it may sound like a fairy tale, but I believe it. See what I mean? I don't know. I hope you brethren are the same way, man. That's all that my channel is about. You only have to watch me one time because I say the same thing over and over again, different ways. You know, you only have to be one time on my channel, really. So, all right. If nobody else have, newborn babies. You right, bro. Yep. I mean, all you need is love. you know, everybody wants it, man. Everybody, but anything worth having is not easy, especially when you talk about the spiritual, And that's why we have so much affliction. It's like one of the boundaries that the Creator says He puts on man to teach you a lesson, don't keep going down that road. Remember we read? He even said that He allows assassinations. He allows war. It's like to stop man from himself, but we won't listen. We won't listen, That's the whole big picture right there. Even with the boundaries of Jehovah, we just won't listen. It's too hard for man. He wants a kingdom. He wants a kingdom of love and affection. Creator says, okay, this is how you do it. Serve your brother. Empathize with your brother. Change your mind. And it does. It makes sense. It makes sense, man. What good is it? What good? I mean, you can simplify it. The Creator. It's like there's a lot of miserable, lonely, rich people because nobody's on that level. They build their house where nobody can see them, on the mountain somewhere. Nobody can get up there. They isolate themselves. Creator is saying that's the opposite of my kingdom, man. It's better to be with a bunch of people. There are people who they naturally, I imagine in the eternal is filled with people that they are thoroughly magnetic, charismatic. They're funny. You laugh at their jokes. They laugh at yours. You're 100% peas in a pod, man. I believe that's what the Ethereum realm is. If anything, the problem with spiritual, with the light, with the word, it's too easy to say some things. It's too easy. You got any more, Chuck? I'm going to go ahead and shut it down. I'm not going to be no videos on the weekend, so I'll go ahead and man, that was a real blessing. I enjoyed doing that video. I enjoyed doing this. So, brethren, the links, I think I have the link to my room in the description area. You could copy and paste it, and it bring you into the room and where we fellowship with one another, where I like to try to share things that I'm learning. All right, you good, bro? All right. Thanks for checking in, brother. Yeah. Thanks for your thoughts. They were very good, bro. All right. Want to give thanks to Heavenly Father, Earthly Mother, for this opportunity. This great, man, thank you for the reading. That blessed my soul, man. That blessed my soul. Well, brethren, again, no videos on the weekend. And pray that the Creator give you peace, love, light, blessing while we're in this reality. Tomorrow, Friday. What is today? Today is Thursday. Oh! Today is Thursday, right? Let me look at my calendar. How do you like that? Tomorrow's Friday. I thought today was Friday, but see, it felt like Friday. The reading made it feel like Friday. So that's how I get out of that. It made it feel like Friday. Well, good. I'm glad, man. Cool. I got another one for tomorrow. I think I'm gonna just keep reading and sue. Dave. All right, man. I would have woke up thinking it was Saturday. Oh man, thanks, bro. Thanks for reminding me. I would have caught on, but all right, man. I'm glad. I got a video tomorrow, then the weekend. I'm off on the weekend. So all right, man. That's the best I can do for right now. I want to give thanks to the Heavenly Father, Earthly Mother for the video. Bless my soul. Thank you, Creator. And brethren, until I see you again, peace, love, light. Shalom.